Hi there, welcome to our Rest and Reset Challenge. I'm Dani, and today I'm going to guide you through a gentle practice, mostly down on the ground. You might want to have, your space and comfortable with like lower lighting. We're going to do a practice that really helps to relax you for preparing to go to sleep. You don't have to go to sleep right after, but it's going to be a relaxing sort of practice. One of my issues in my life is sleeping. It's kind of like an area of my life that when I get really, my sleep gets really thrown off. It's one of the reasons I came to do yoga in the first place. So it's an area that I really believe strongly in, and science really, there's a lot of science behind that we need to relax before we can actually fall asleep. So when you come to bed at night, some nights I just pop in bed without doing anything to prepare for it, and usually then I lay down and a million things are racing through my mind. So we need to maybe take a little time, I find I do, to just let our bodies settle, because when our bodies can settle, then our mind can follow. And we can play out some of the things that just that are going on in our minds from that day or just in our lives in general. And maybe do that first through some guided relaxation and also some gentle movement. So that is going to be my goal for our class today and our aim for class today. So with that said, you may want to have a chair for the end when we do our relaxation at the end. If you don't have a chair, you can just lay on your mat, lying down with props underneath you. You can also come to legs up the wall. So just FYI, that's where we'll be heading. So again, you might want to set your room, like maybe the lighting a little lower to promote some more just sort of relaxation in general. And then I'm sitting on a blanket. I think it's good to have blankets, maybe some pillows or bolsters. You might use those through class too. So I'm coming to sit on my blanket. You might sit up on more than one blanket. Just make sure you're comfortable, and then just settle in. And once you settle in, close your eyes perhaps. You might want to find a soft gaze, that's fine too. But just start to notice your breath, and just on your own, take some deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Just this turning inward to transition to this practice. Notice how you feel. Like, notice what's happening in your body. Notice what's happening in your mind. And don't try to push any of that away. Just kind of have a little space where you can kind of be on the sidelines looking at it and not getting involved in it. Just take a couple more breaths to observe. Observing, noticing, trying to turn inward more. And just as you sit here, reflect on your day. How was your day? What did you do today? What did you accomplish today? What is there still left to do from today? Let's play all that out now, so you can just let that go. You can just play it out in your mind. Use this time to kind of process all of it so that you can just have it fall to the background later. And settle in. Notice if you've got things on your mind, something bothering you. Maybe everything's good. Maybe there's nothing like that going on. Just be aware of whatever's there. Don't try to resist. Just try to be aware of it so that you can let it be and let it go. Take a couple more breaths just to sort of process your day. Now we'll try to work with the breath a little bit more. So we're going to work towards taking inhale slowly and counting maybe a count of 4 or 5, and then exhaling with the same inhale count. So we're going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue like that, inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. So just kind of count your breath. Maybe 4 isn't your number. Just go with the number that suits you, trying to even out the breath. As you exhale, imagine the air emptying your body. Any thoughts, any concerns, anything on your mind, just let it kind of drain out on your exhale. Keep counting. Be relaxed as you count and breathe in and out. Releasing any tension, maybe imagining it going out your fingertips into the floor. Take 2 more rounds, trying to get your breath more even. Letting go of anything in your mind, feeling your shoulders soften and drop down even more. And then we'll start to move a little bit. So we're going to sit, maybe take a moment, uncross your legs, stretch your legs out for a second, roll out your ankles. And then come back to a crisscross legs, and we'll start to move a little bit here with the breath. So sitting on your blanket, perhaps still, we're just going to shift into cow pose, seated cow pose, and then exhale, tuck and round, lean back, go slow, maybe with that same even counting, inhale, and then exhale. So don't make your breath overly effortful. Just breathe and be aware of it. Trying to inhale. You don't have to count. You might just be aware of slow inhale and slow deep exhale. Take 1 more round like that. Just kind of starting to move a little bit with the breath. And then exhale. And then we're going to add on to this. So as you inhale forward, then we're going to inhale into cow pose, and then we're going to go to the right and shift around to the right, and then we're going to exhale to the back, and then shift to the left, and then to the front. So that's the movement. So now that you know the movement, maybe just get out of your head and just get into the feeling of your body and your breath, the sensations. You can make this movement kind of pause at each point, or you can make it more fluid and breathe as you move. You can add your head if you want, tucking your chin as you come back, and then rolling your head around as you come forward. So just do what comes naturally to you. Don't think, just feel and breathe. You might close your eyes if you haven't already. And then the next time you come forward, we're going to reverse the circles. So reverse your circles, going around to the left and then back. We're really trying to shift in towards the body more, getting out of thoughts, getting into feeling, getting into breath, to shut down a little bit and allow our bodies to relax so that our minds can relax. 1 more circle. And then come up, and then just kind of roll your shoulders up, back and down. Roll your shoulders up, back and down, and then roll your shoulders the other direction. And then just shifting off of your blanket and coming to tabletop position. So you might use your blanket unfolded under your knees. And it also might have another extra blanket to use when we pause in child's pose. Maybe a bolster also can be helpful. So a block as well can be very helpful too. So any of those props to help prop you when you pause. So come to tabletop, ground down lightly through your hands. Find your center, and then we're going to inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the chin slightly, cow pose. Exhale, tuck and round, bend your elbows, shift back into child's pose. Head hangs heavy. And then inhale, come back to cow pose again. And then exhale, tuck your toes, shift up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, back to the mat with your knees, going back into cow pose. Lift the tailbone, tip your pelvis. And then exhale, shift back into child's pose. Bend your elbows, let your head come down. And then keep going like that. That's the movement, just getting into the breath. Even inhale, even exhale. Inhale, knees to the mat. Exhale, shift back, bend your elbows, let your head come down. And we'll do it again. Inhale, back to tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. It's effort, but also relax with the breath. Inhale, back to the knees. Exhale, bend the elbows, shift into child's pose. We're going to stay here. And this is where you might add props. If you want to grab a bolster or a block, place it under your forehead. Maybe you want a blanket on the thighs or a bolster so you don't have to fold so much. So just find a place of stillness. And we'll breathe here. Maybe you don't want any props. Maybe it feels most comfortable to let your head come to the floor. So just turning inward. Any sort of turning inward, any forward folding has this calming effect on the body. So get comfortable. We'll stay here about 5 breaths. Inhale, perhaps with the counting. Exhale, imagining any thoughts, any tension draining out into the ground. Let yourself just be here a couple more breaths. One more breath. And then slowly take the props away, and then from child's pose, you might readjust yourself. Take your hands to the low back, kind of stacking your hands, or you can just rest your hands behind you on the floor. So we're going to start to come up to the knees really slowly. Inhale, shifting up your torso, up to stand on your knees. Go really slowly. Reach your arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Press your arms into a T. And then inhale, untwist. Come back to center. And then exhale, twist to the left. Press your arms into a T. So you're twisting, and then inhale, reach back up. And then slowly lower your arms, come back to child's pose. Flip the palms up, resting them on the floor or on your back. We'll do that twice more. Slowly come on up. Reach up. Exhale, press the arms into a T. Twist from the middle. Inhale, reach up. Slow movements. Exhale, slowly. Evenly. Inhale, back up. Exhale, slow with control. Lower yourself back to child's pose. Come down, pause. One more time, flowing up. Exhale, press it out. Inhale, back up. Exhale, press to the left. Take your time, go slowly. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower down. Child's pose. You can pause here. Stay here with any props. Breathe here, let your shoulders relax more towards the floor. Relax your jaw, your face. Take one more breath. And then reach your arms forward and come up to your tabletop position, and then come to your belly. So you can lay down, come to your belly. Again, turning inward. If this is comfortable for you, you can stay in child's pose, of course, and just stacking your palms so that your backs of your hands are up and you're resting your forehead down on your palms, and just like shake your hips out, let things go. Neutralize here, and just this turning inward to feel the breath into your center. Feeling the low back expand, and exhale. Take one more breath here, just kind of neutral, closing the eyes, breathing into yourself. Take one more breath. And then just from the belly here, we're going to roll over to the back. So just kind of roll over to your back. And then shift your hips onto your mat again. I'm going to remove my blanket. And you might use it later, so have it handy. And so from here, feet on the floor, knees bent, and then separate your feet to the edges of the mat. So wide feet, knees bent. You can bring your arms out into a T or bend your elbows, shoulders ground down. And then we're going to take windshield wipers. Inhale, and then exhale, your knees to the right, your head can turn to the left. And then inhale back to center, everything comes back to the center. Exhale, drop your knees to the left. So go so slowly with your breath. So inhale on a count of 5. Exhale, drop into it on a count of 5. Keep going on your own. Inhale. Everything comes to the center. Exhale, drop into it. Grounding down. Do one more to the right, one more to the left. Go to the left one more time. And then next time you drop to the left, pause. And then we're going to stay here. You can stay here with your knees wide and dropping your knees like this. Or you can work, if you can just come to a different twist, stacking your legs, shifting your bottom hip under, and then just feeling your legs stack. So get into a comfortable place where you can be in your twist. So I'm just going to stay in my first position here, because that just feels good to my body. So you kind of have to assess what kind of a twist feels best to you. The purpose is to just ground down, let go. You don't have to do any work except for breathing and maybe extending the exhale. Now that you've evened it out, maybe you're inhaling to a count of 5 and exhaling a little bit longer, maybe 6 or 7. Or maybe longer. Extending your exhale at the bottom. And then keep going. Inhale. Let everything ground. Let everything pause. Just be here. And you still might have thoughts roaming around. That's fine. Just let them be there. Don't try to force them away. This is the time to let them play out. And then exhale, one more exhale here. And then just shift your knees back and forth. Just shake that out really slowly. We'll go right and left, and then we'll go back to the right and pause there. So these movements are simple, but they're really aimed to just help you let go and ground and sort of shut things down in your mind a little bit more to prepare your body and your mind for maybe sleeping or just relaxing a little more. So right knee, knees to the right. You can stay here. You can make that shift and stack. Make sure your hips are stacked and you feel comfortable. So wherever you want to be, make sure you're content, and then we'll be here for about 4 more breaths. So maybe exhaling a little bit longer than your inhale. Keep going with your breath. Inhale slowly, exhale, maybe extending beyond the bottom of your exhale. Just kind of lengthen the exhale a little bit more. Take 1 more breath. Notice any tension you haven't let go of, maybe your jaw, your face. Soften that a little bit more. And then slowly windshield wiper back and forth 1 round just to let that go. And then come back to the middle. And then once we come back to the middle, feet on the floor, knees bent, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. Arms can come around the knees or behind the creases of your knees. And then just kind of circle your knees around. You're essentially doing child's pose on your back, and that is a forward fold. And forward folds, as I said, have calming effects energetically on our minds and our bodies. So breathe here, and then spin your knees the opposite direction. Again, this is gentle and easy. Don't force, don't try too hard. And then come back to center. We're just going to pulse the knees in and out. Inhale, just press the knees away. Exhale, draw the knees in. And then again, the knees in and out real gently. Inhale out. And then exhale slowly in. And then 1 more time, press away. And then back in. And then we're going to come up really slowly. So feet back to the floor. Roll off to one side and come up to sit again. So you might grab your blanket. You might grab your block. And we're going to sit in legs crossed again, which might feel different now that you've moved your body a little bit. And so come sit on as many blankets as you need. Okay, so from here, if you want a block, that's a handy prop as well. So you'll see if you need it. And then we're just going to fold forward. Okay, so walking forward. You can put your forearms down. You can stay more lifted. If you can get your forearms down, it feels good. Take your forehead to your palms and rest your head here. And just breathe into the body, feel yourself relax here. If this isn't relaxing, you can take a block and then just rest here. So there's lots of ways to relax into this fold. And if it doesn't feel good to your knees, you can always come up higher and just breathe there. And then conversely, if you want to come farther into this, you can come down further. So go where your body allows with comfort, and make sure your knees feel okay, and breathe. Relax your jaw, maybe separate your top and bottom rows of teeth. Let the jaw relax. Breathe here, 1 more breath. And then walk yourself back up. And then flip-flop your legs. Maybe straighten out your knees for a moment. And roll out. And take your other leg in front. And we'll do the same forward fold with your other leg in front to get the other hip as well. So walking forward. Maybe this is your stopping point. Maybe you just, the idea is to turn inward, let your head hang. If you want to come down further, if you want to rest your forehead in the heels of your hands or the palms. Where can you let go, and where can you breathe and just be here for a few more breaths? So just go where you go.
Notice your mind, what's happening in your mind. Take 2 more breaths. And then slowly, hands down, walk yourself back up. And then straighten out your legs one last time. Press the feet, lift your chest, roll out your ankles. And then we're going to come to stillness in our last pose. So that is where you might grab a chair. You might want to lay flat on your back and do sort of a shavasana with your legs long or your feet on the floor, knees bent. I love the chair for this. And also another option is maybe if you know how to come to legs up the wall, you can come to the wall and put your legs up the wall. So coming to the chair, you would just scoot closer to the chair and then come onto your back, putting the lower legs on the chair. This is my favorite way to relax, but you find your favorite way. And then I'm going to bring a blanket under my head. So any props you need, maybe a pillow or a blanket. And then, so make your adjustments. I'm going to take you through a short guided relaxation here in a little body scan when we can sort of let little parts at a time go in our bodies. Our minds will quiet even more. So get settled in your position, however that is. Make any last adjustments. Make sure you're comfortable. And just let your head relax into the ground or whatever surface it's touching. So feel your head ground down. Come and notice your face and try to smooth out the space between your eyebrows. Smooth out the forehead, let it relax. Let the forehead and the eyes relax. Maybe focus on the eyes, falling a little more deeply into the sockets. Perhaps let your mouth slightly open. Relax your tongue, let it just relax down in your mouth. And then feeling your shoulders. See if you can draw them down a little bit further from your ears. Feeling the length of your neck. Your shoulders grounding down, your chest. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Become aware of your right arm, the upper arm, the lower arm, the back of the hand, the palm, and all 5 fingers of the right hand. Your whole right arm, just let it be heavy. Bring your attention to your left arm, the left upper arm, the left lower arm, the back of the left hand, the left palm, and all 5 fingers of your left hand. Feel your whole arm as it touches the ground, lower leg, and your right foot. The toes of your right foot. Notice any sensation of where your leg touches the ground or the wall or the chair.
Let your muscles just sink. And now pay attention to the left leg, your left thigh, your left lower leg, your left foot, sensations in your left foot and your left toes. And then just feeling the whole left leg as it just sinks, is heavy into the surface that it is touching. Now get a sense of your whole body as it lies here on the floor. From the bottom of your feet, inhaling all the way from the bottom of your feet through your body, all the way through the top of the head. And then exhale, feel the air release, filling your body, flooding your body with fresh oxygen, exhaling everything out. Do a couple more rounds of just full, deep breaths into your body. And then exhale. Any last tension, let it drain from your body. Any thoughts, just let them be. And we'll just leave you here. Stay here as long as you'd like. When you're ready, you can come out, just pulling your knees into your chest. Taking it slow. And coming off of your chair, from the floor, or from the wall. So feel free to stay here as long as you'd like. But if you're ready to come out, go slowly, knees to chest. Rolling off to your side and pause on your side. Rest on your side. Take your time. Being aware of yourself as you come up to sit. Coming up to sit once again, perhaps with your blanket. Come sit. Come pause here and notice how you feel. Closing your eyes, dropping your shoulders. Feeling the shift that has happened throughout practice, prepared maybe for sleep, or just feeling a little more relaxed and reset. Pressing palms together, perhaps bowing your head. Thank yourself for coming to your mat to take care of yourself. Turn inward. I thank you for joining me today. Namaste.